Good morning, Chief. That's very interesting. The way that feels to call you that. It's not what I... It's not what I envisioned when I found you all that time ago. To think a human who just fell into a trap would end up dealing the final blow to the largest Ravager we've ever seen. Removing a problem we've all wanted to get rid of for a very long time. And becoming chief yourself. You're right, when I say it all like that, it does almost sound like some fantasy story. Which of course it's not. But it really does sound too good and too strange to be true. It's interesting how life works like that. I'm just wondering where my sister even is right now. She didn't tell you she was leaving, did she? It's just like her. You would think that with me being the scout, I would be the one more likely to sneak off and disappear, but somehow that's just never been the case. Well, it would help if she was here. You have a lot to learn about how to be a chief of an orc tribe. And you may have full membership in this tribe now, but... Well, you have not had it for very long. And there are still a lot of cultural expectations and rules and things that you will be expected and required to understand. Things that she knows far better than I do. Well, what I can do for you is help you get your day started. Well, I know a little bit. I know that the chieftain speaks with his inner council and make decisions as a sort of group work. They work together, offer their differing perspectives to try and come to the best decisions for the tribe as a whole. That's a very common misconception. I know orcs tend to be very blunt and... maybe, especially some of us like Gark, but... Sure, there are some who view us as uncivilized and barbaric, and... Well, they're not completely wrong. I mean, even our tribe, we don't go out looking for conflict, but we do go raiding, looking for things that we don't have the ability to make ourselves. Well, honestly, yes, you make a shining example of that yourself. You didn't walk into this tribe and join on the most friendly and equal of terms. No, that much is true. But you were given the opportunity, and, if I may say so, handled yourself incredibly well. Seized the opportunity and seized the mantle of chief in a very unexpected way. Those would be more things my sister would be better with. I don't understand the complex inner workings of all of that. But she does. Unfortunately, she's not here, and I don't think she will be for at least another couple of weeks. Oh, I had assumed you'd been filled in. Every 4 years, the shamans of every tribe get together, and they have... Honestly, I don't really know. They keep it very secret. No one really knows what goes on there. But they all meet together, and when they come back, we have advice that is shared with the Council and used to make decisions for the next 4 years. I don't really know why it's 4. I always assumed that since there were 4 people on the Council, it was 4 years of them working together. I assume there's some kind of symbolism there, but that much is beyond me. If you would like to know where the current threat of Ravagers are, that I can absolutely inform you of. Well, I would in fact be wise to fill you in. And if you recall, the Ravagers have been a bit more of a problem recently than they have been in all of our known history. They're being spotted closer and closer to the village, more and more frequently. This suggests that they are desperate for food, whether it's because they overhunted or something else entered their territory, or maybe their population has just surged to the point they can no longer sustain it. Honestly, I don't really care which it is. They pose a threat to the tribe, and as a member of the tribe, it is my duty, and also yours, to do everything we can to protect the tribe from them. Generally speaking, they keep to the north, up where the forest gets much darker, much thicker. Trees make it hard to see. Well, there are long since rumors of that area being haunted, but in all of my expeditions out there, I have not seen any evidence of that. That would line up more with my sister than with my skill set. So don't take what I say as absolutely certain. Just my experience. The first thing we should expect is a very brief meeting with the other members of the council, mostly as an introduction, before we're able to actually begin a full meeting. Well, I had assumed you would want me there, to help you understand the ins and outs of the culture you're still learning to be a part of. Hell, not just to be a part of, you're learning to lead. And I may not be as experienced as her in this way, but I will offer you what I can, if you'll have me there. Well, no, I did not think you would, but I also don't want to assume anything. You may not have absolute authority as the unyielding dictator of our tribe. Still, I take your wants and desires into account. I care very much about you, and not just as any orc should for their chief. You have impressed me. Time and time again, you have impressed me, which is never something I thought I would say to a human. And yet here we are. And if I can speak freely for a moment. Thank you. I believe you're exactly what this tribe needs to show us how to move into the future. There are so many who would cling to the past and refuse to accept important and necessary change. I suspect, in at least this way, orcs and humans are very much alike. We build our families, we build our communities around these rules, and, well, there becomes this collective understanding that if the rules have kept us safe and secure for this long, they must be obeyed without question. But, on the other side, if you don't adapt to a changing environment, well, that's how entire species go extinct. So there is a balance that needs to occur, and the chieftain we were looking at having was going to attempt to undo all of that. If he had his way, he would never become a member, let alone the chief. The actions by your own hands undid all of his scheming. It was Gark's plan to rigidly cling to the rules of the past and try to ignore the changes all around him. Specifically, I'm talking about the threat the Ravagers posed to us. The one Gark had brought in chains, which still almost defeated him, is larger than any I have ever seen. Well, it's worrying to me. Tracking these things, knowing where they are, where they're moving, and what they're doing, that is how I keep this tribe safe. I know them better than they know themselves. And yet Gark was able to find one a size I have never seen before. So, something very wrong is going on, and I think it's important we get to the bottom of it. He is still out there, and the Ravagers grow bolder and bolder every passing day. I'm not saying he's behind it, but he clearly knows something I don't. And that alone worries me. No, we've definitely not seen the last of him. But I do expect it will take him some time to regain his strength. And, well, you have to admit, the thought of him out there, furious that he lost his place to a human. Oh, I wish I could see the look on his face. Well, you don't even really know how you did it. And you're just telling me this now? Interesting. Some of these stories and traditions that you're not yet familiar with. We have a story we've passed down who knows how many generations now. It seems a little far-fetched. The story is of one who is not orc, but similar, described in ways that honestly would be more human than orc. Rising from obscurity, from the literal bottom of a pit, defeating the largest Ravager that orcs had ever seen, and uniting all the tribes against a common threat. Well, of course, it's a, what is the word? A good night story. A camping story. Something you tell to keep the children's spirits up when things get rough. Well, in my defense, I had forgotten about it until now because I didn't believe it was true. It's not exactly one of our most common well-told stories, you know? That whole identity of Orc Tribe is for Orc. But here's this story we've had since the beginning of someone who is not Orc showing Orcs how to be better Orcs. Is it really surprising that story is not told very much? Perhaps that is something you, as the new chieftain, will be able to change. Ah, you're learning quickly. That is something that chieftain can change in combination with his counsel. No, I am not a member of the council. You do me great honor, Chief. But I do not want this position. And I don't know if you even have the authority to create another seat on the council. Perhaps you could ask my sister when she returns. I would be more than happy to serve my chieftain by making scouting trips and keeping an eye on the Ravagers and making sure they are not a threat for the rest of the tribe. I have my ways of dealing with them. I try to avoid them, but that doesn't always work. They are rather intelligent. Look at what we've done. Here I just meant to help you wake up and get breakfast and get your day started, and we've just been talking. I think that is the thing I enjoy the most. To find someone who is not Orc, but who is still very fun to spend time with, to talk to. Time will tell, I suppose. If you would like, there are many services I can offer my chieftain. Some which I think you would enjoy very much. Well, we're not even out of bed yet. I have many ideas that involve us staying here for much, much longer. What do you say, Chief? I will take that as a yes. Hey Comets, Star here, and welcome to Orc Season 2. Now, before I get started here, I do have big theoretical plans for this story. Season 1 went to 10 episodes, and is still some of the best videos on my channel. I have every hope that Season 2 will be the same. So I have a bunch of ideas bouncing around, a lot of stuff I'm considering, a lot of stuff I really want to add in, but I'm not gonna force it. So long as the series is still well received, I will very gladly continue the adventures of Grelka and Drelna, the two Orc sisters, and their chieftain. Chief. I keep kind of interchanging the two, but honestly the meaning's kind of the same. So when I originally recorded this, I sat down and only got about 10 minutes out. And I really didn't like the way the story was going, so I decided, after I'd already finished editing everything, to scrap it and start over. So here is version, honestly, probably like 3 or 4.0, because I started over a couple of times, but I like this one. We're good here. This one's good. I think this is just me spitballing temporarily, but the idea for Season 2 is roughly gonna be that we have our little scout out keeping an eye on the Ravagers, reporting back, while the chieftain and the shaman and the council try to figure out what the hell is going on. Which, spoilers, Star already has big plans, but they're not revealed yet, so you're just gonna have to wait. And on that note, I'm gonna call it here. So, thank you for listening. Especially to this, this is definitely gonna be on the longer side of my releases. Especially recently, so if you've made it this far, big thank you. Thank you so much. And here's to a great start of Season 2. Goodbye for now. Mwah.